Senator Coburn, Senator Andrews, Senator Myers, Senator Bevel, Senator Page, Senator Okafor, Senator Meyer, Senator Kirkby, Senator Campbell, Senator Crisply, Senator Kelly, Senator Parchman, Senator Francis, Senator Arcienko,
Present.
Senator Barnes, Senator Young, Senator Chidinma Obiora, Senator Chioma Obiora, Senator George,
I'm here.
Senator Lopez, Senator Desharla,
Here.
Senator Villalobos, Senator Gomez, Senator Stefanski, Senator Ontiveros, Senator Scott, Senator Lubela, and Senator White.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the approval of the minutes. I sent these out along with the agenda in my email this week. I'm gonna scroll just to give you a second. I entertain a motion to vote on last week's minutes. Okay, all those in favor of last week's minutes, please raise your hand. All those not in favor, please raise your hand. Any abstentions, please raise your hand. Okay, those have passed. Is anyone here for open forum? Yeah, you're good. Okay, so just a recap on open forum. They have 5 minutes and the floor will not open for discussion.
Assalamu alaikum and hello to everyone here today. I'm Brandy and this is Jenna. We are the sitting president and vice president of Students for Justice in Palestine, or SJP for short. We are here today to speak on the hindrance of us becoming a registered student organization and the restrictions we believe could impact the creation of future student organizations. Over the summer, Jenna and I connected on the desire to advocate for Palestinians not only in Palestine, but for the Palestinians that exist on our campus. We worked diligently during this time to meet all the requirements we needed in order to register as soon as the semester began. This included our constitution, risk management form, and roster. The single piece we were lacking to meet all the requirements was a faculty advisor. We sent emails to more than 15 academic members. Only one responded, and that individual said no. We decided to follow up with the faculty members we had already emailed during the first week of classes. Even though they supported our cause, the potential advisors we spoke with voiced concerns about how risky it would be to assume the role. We were unsure at this time if the university's communication or the present political atmosphere around Palestine was a source of their opposition. Fortunately, after weeks of consistent effort, we were able to find an advisor and become registered on October 4th. All this to say, the success of our organization hinged upon the ability to seek an advisor, and the hesitancy of faculty and administration limited our ability to coalesce and impact student life on this campus.
Although we are happy to have a voice on campus at last, we feel that the registration process was overly complicated because we are a political organization. Going forward, we believe this could pose a challenge for other political organizations attempting to gain traction, particularly if the organization is speaking on matter that could be viewed as politically unpopular. We knew the events we wanted to hold this semester, and we had a timeline in mind before classes started. Our inability to register has caused a delay in this timeline. We bring this to the attention of student government today to relay the impediments we have had as a collection of students on campus, and we implore this governing body to represent all students and create resolutions to encourage new student organizations. Only when we allow a space for all can you truly represent the needs of students at UT Tyler. We are inspired by all the work from student government and across campus, and we hope to see collaboration to address this issue. Thank you so much for your time today, and of course, Free Palestine.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here for open forum?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Haley Robinette, and I'm a financial accounting tutor with Patriot Academic Success Services. Most of y'all may know it as the Patriot Tutoring Center previously. I've been a tutor since March of this year, and in April, a decision was made without input of tutors or SI leaders to decentralize our tutoring services as well as SI. Unfortunately, this change was implemented with little to no plan in place for how PTC/PASS would function in this new structure. Since the decentralization, several issues have surfaced. First, raising awareness of tutoring sessions has become a great challenge. The most reliable way to communicate event details to students is through Patriots Engage. While this ensures visibility, it clutters the platform with tutoring and SI events, making it very overwhelming for any other organization. Additionally, the process of submitting these events is incredibly time-consuming. So far this semester and before the semester, PASS had to submit over 920 events for Patriots Engage. Second, this change has negatively impacted student attendance. In the first 6 weeks of the fall 2023 semester, under the previous system at the Patriot Tutoring Center, we served 327 in-person students. Under the new decentralized system, the number has dropped to 236. This is a noticeable decline. The goal of Patriot Academic Success Services is to promote good study habits and collaboration. Since we now have to hold these in lecture halls, it is difficult to promote that same level of collaboration. Previously would move around tables, encourage students to have better study habits and form study groups aside from just us tutoring. Additionally, I've been told by students that attending tutoring has become intimidating as there is no longer a welcome desk and students just have to walk into a classroom they may not normally ever be in. Lastly, the lack of planning and communication has caused conflicts with other student organizations. When university events are scheduled last minute, Patriot Academic Success Services often has to scramble to find new rooms. This sometimes displaces other student groups, causing them to also have to scramble to find new spaces. Additionally, these last-minute changes mean that we have to reach out to students, professors, and tutors about these changes, and this makes it even harder for students attempting to attend tutoring, and this has further contributed to the decreased attendance for tutoring this semester. In conclusion, for this decentralized system to be effective, it requires improvements to be made, make it more streamlined and user-friendly. Two of my proposed solutions for this are to centralize tutoring again and find a new space for tutoring, or to fix the issues with room bookings and Patriots Engage. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is anyone else here for open forum? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to move on to speaker's podium. Please welcome Dr. Julie Philly.
Thank you, Allie. It's so good to be here. I'm Julie Philly, of course, the president, and it's so nice to see you because I recognize many of your faces from campus, and I feel like I'm getting to know people, and it's a lot of fun. I want to tell you, even sitting here for 5 minutes, I'm reminded why student government is so important because of everything you bring up is important and it matters. And universities are great places for us to address things that matter to students. So I'm just really glad to be here. I was asked to do several things, and I have my list in my purse. But one of the things that they said was, tell us a little bit about yourself, tell us a little bit about UT Tyler, and tell us a little bit about the initiatives and the engagement for students. So I'm going to leave plenty of time for questions. I've met many of you, but I grew up in East Texas. I'm the second of 5 kids. Did not grow up in a medical family at all, but kind of dreamed about going to have some kind of a medical career. Wasn't sure I could accomplish that. Had never met nurses or doctors or anyone. So the thought of going to medical school was a little too daunting for me at the time. So ended up at TJC for a year and then transferred to Texas Women's University and really dreamed about going to medical school, but ended up going to nursing school first because I knew if that medical dream didn't work out for me, I could pay the bills with nursing. Absolutely loved it. Had a great time doing it, but knew in my heart, I really wanted to try to get into medical school. And through a series of fortunate events, I was able to do that and ended up in Houston for medical school and then moved, decided to be more worldly and moved to Baltimore for my residency in internal medicine for 3 years and then moved back to Dallas to do pulmonary and critical care medicine at UT Southwestern. And I just knew 2 things when I started my career. I'm never going to want to take care of really sick people in the ICU, and I'm never going to do research. And I got mentors in both of those things, and that's exactly what I ended up doing. Ended up coming back doing loving critical care and ended up being very interested in infections related to women's lungs. And I thought, I'm going to do this the rest of my life and would have been happy doing that. But I moved back to Tyler area about 12 years ago for my academic career and started that journey. And around that time, we realized about over a decade ago that Tyler, there was a possibility of starting a med school here. And just like you are doing today, I became actively involved at the very ground up for new ideas and exciting things to bring new opportunities and new thoughts to East Texas. And so started kind of my administrative journey from there and started to take on more and more responsibility. And then we went through some mergers and some other things happened and this merged with that. And we formed some health systems. And then the Health Science Center merged with this UT Tyler, and the president at the time, Dr. Calhoun, became the president of the combined, and he put me over the health part of what we do. And then when he retired, I got this wonderful opportunity to do both. And it's been absolutely wonderful. I started June 1st. I still have a lot to learn. I've told the executive team and appreciate their support so much. Still have a lot to learn about what's important to students. Still have a lot to learn about how to do this, but I want to do it, and I want to do everything I can to advocate for students of all kinds, of all things. Everyone is welcome on this campus, and I want to make sure that I always represent that for us. So that's a little bit about me. I am married. I have a husband. I don't have kids. I don't have pets. I'm one of those bizarre birds. But my husband's the conductor of the symphony here, and we like to travel. And now we love to go to UT Tyler sporting events and music events and other activities on campus. So we're having a great time. About UT Tyler, you probably have heard this, but we're growing, guys. In the time across the country where enrollments are down across universities, UT Tyler is increasing. Highest record enrollment this year, 10,541 students at Census Day, which is an 8% increase. So we're excited about that. That is great. We have all of these campuses that you're aware of here on this campus, which many of us are familiar with. We have what we call our Health Science Center, our North Campus, which has a hospital and other programs. We have Palestine, Longview, and a program at the Community College in Houston. So lots of different campuses, lots of different needs across those different campuses. What we are interested in doing this year, and the thing that I'm most focused on really, I hope we can prove this to you day in and day out. I know we have a long way to go, is you. Students and student success is the single most important thing that is going to be focused on at this organization. And with that comes new opportunities to Patriot Engage. I too noticed the plethora of tutoring sessions on Patriot Engage. I was just looking for a taco truck, but turns out pathophysiology is still hard, everyone. I don't know if you know that. But thinking about the life on this campus is a huge priority for us. We're trying to do some things I hope you've noticed. I hope that we're going to continue to show you. One of the first things we talked about was a true tailgating policy that's gone through. tailgating events and more on-life campus activities, more places to eat and socialize. We opened Starbucks, but there's a lot more to be done. Where are other places we connect, and how does that look on campus? So we're thinking about those things. One of the things you can do to help us, and we can talk about a variety of ways to do that, is the campus master plan for the campus that we're on. I plan to go to the Board of Regents in February with a proposal to talk about next steps. And here's in a big picture in our minds what we're discussing. We're talking about a unified entrance to this campus off a university, something that looks grand, something that makes you realize I'm entering a very prestigious university campus. So a beautiful campus entrance. And maybe one day I can come back and show you some pictures. We don't have any yet. I'd show them to you today, no secrets, but just thinking about how that would look. And then once you get on campus, how do we move around? It would be great to drive on the campus and drive your car all the way around, or tell your friends or your family members, go in the main entrance and take a right and you can get to the nursing building, or to Cowan. Go to the left, you can get to the College of Pharmacy or the baseball field. And so we're thinking about a road that would connect everything, and then also new signage for how it will look and feel on campus. New places, again, for us to hang out, take pictures, have more on-campus athletic events and games and things of that nature are big things. We're also thinking about how we, hey guys, welcome. We're also thinking about how we or a front door to new students. And so the one stop has to be better. I think we're trying to do good service and do good things. The location is pretty bad. The facilities are not up to par. So we're talking about building out the 4th floor of this building of Souls College of Business and repurposing some student-facing back-end office functions for new students in this building. And then what would it look like if we repurposed Stewart Hall, like where my office is on the 3rd floor, and other places just for students, and thinking about what that would look like for student government, getting better space, getting better offices, better Greek life, better student organizations, space for people that's easier to use. And so that's going to be a high priority. We are going to start construction on new set of stairs that is located by Ryder Tower, between Ryder Tower and the lake. So that area that's been quarantined off, if you yes, clap. I heard, thank you. But we're going to try to model it after something, again, more perhaps romantic, like the Spanish Steps in Italy, if you've ever seen a picture of those, where you can sit on them or hang out on them or take pictures on them. And you're going to be able to see the bell tower in the background all the way to the lake. It's going to be pretty. It's going to start, we could start today, but it will really interrupt classes and flow. So we're going to try to get a lot done during Thanksgiving break and then over Christmas break. So that's really exciting. Hope we can finish that in a timely fashion. You know how these things go. But we are also busy working on walkability apps and other ways to access campus. If you're a visitor, or if you remember your first time on campus, it's not that easy to find your way around. And so we're going to have something by the end of the year that will help with those types of things. So we're excited. Other things off of this campus is new degree programs. And I'm very open to your thoughts on new degrees too. Open door policy, you can always email me or email my admin assistant. Her name's Kim Reagan, but and it'll get to me. But we're starting a CRNA program in the nursing school, starting a master's in speech therapy. We are starting a PhD in higher education here in the Souls College of Business. We are talking about other health programs like a physical therapy school and a PA school. We are also talking about other degrees in just some general studies, and then talking about anything that matters, certainly if it matters to you or if you're interested in it, thinking about how we can expand it, including our forensics programs and criminal justice, because that's been a request as well. We do not plan to start right now a law school or a vet school, nor do right now we plan to start a football team. And so I just want to tell you that, so no one has to ask. And I know people are very passionate about football. We live in an area we're very passionate about it. but it's very, very expensive and we don't have the facilities. And so that's on permanent hold for now. But campus life with athletics is not, I mean, all in to have better game days, and more fun and more excitement around those types of organizations, and more excitement for the arts and music and lots of other different types of things. Creative writing, the club. I'm excited about attending that next week. And so lots of fun things ahead. The med school building is a huge project right now. If you're drive around the medical district downtown, you'll see it, and it's going to be ready next summer. It's 250,000 square feet. So that's like 4 times the size of this building. And it will house the medical school, but it will also have clinical services and places for people to train with operating rooms and other stuff. So that's going to be a big initiative. And then we're also building expansion on our Longview University campus. I was actually just talking with Dane. I want to call you cabinet. What do you call each other? Secretary Adams. That's very regal. We were just talking though about our Archer Fellows and the Texas legislature and UT system giving us funding to have student representation in Austin. And so excited about, exploring those types of possibilities. And I'm also very interested in student government as you think about internships in different types of areas and what you might be as students interested in to help advance your career paths. What I'm finding in the region is people really excited about our students, really proud of our students and wanting to expand. I was just at Mewburn Oil and some others, and they're looking at expanding internships in the College of Engineering and lots of other things. So I think we can build on that as well. So that's a little bit about what's going on. I am happy to take any questions that you have, truly anything. I'm happy to hear what's on your mind. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of this. I'm excited about what we're doing. I want to work hard for you, and I want to make UT Tyler the best it can be, truly. So thank you so much. And what questions do you have? I know they're out there.
Questions?
Vice President Romero, I think it's great that we're expanding programs for more academic opportunities for students. Has anyone mentioned anything about a neuroscience program?
A neuroscience program. Are you, so what do you mean by neuroscience? So yes, but I want to hear what your thoughts are.
I would think that so I'm a psychology major.
Mhm.
I've heard a lot of people say like, I really wanted to do neuroscience, so I just double majored in biology and psychology. But I know at UT Austin, they have a bachelor's of science in neuroscience.
Interesting. So we have not discussed a bachelor in neuroscience. We have started advanced and medical degrees. I hear what you're asking me about. Life is not revolve around being a physician, trust me. But we did start a neurology residency, and we are considering starting a neurosurgery residency as well, if you can believe that. So surrounding that, we will need to build all kinds of programs around brain health, which I think is what you're asking me for. And those are being discussed, and neuroscience testing and from the psychology route is definitely something, a fellowship we could consider.
Awesome. That's really cool. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
They have brought it to my attention that perhaps a Bachelor of Science in Public Health that they're exploring. People have asked me about sports management too and some other things. So lots of things. If people want it, if it translates into students wanting it and it translates into a reasonable job after, we're very open to doing it. What other questions?
Senator Hebb, kind of a similar question. I was wondering, so I'm an English major and my focus is more so on writing. And I was curious if there's any works going into an MFA for creative writing.
Oh, interesting. No, I have not heard that.
It's something that I think.
Are you in the creative writing club? Am I going to
I
get to
am.
see you next
Yes,
week?
you will.
I was very excited.
Surprise, surprise.
I was very excited to come to that. I'm really interested. I've seen some of the publications and I'm really excited to maybe even participate myself. A lot of what I write, we might not be able to publish, so we'll have to keep it on. I'm joking. I've always enjoyed writing, so I'm excited to hear what people want to do. But I'd be interested in those things. It ties nicely too to education, right? And
Yes.
having those, I see Dr. Swain in the audience, and thinking as we think about expanding our educational programs, that'd be a lot of fun to think about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Online.
Hello, I'm Senator Dusharla. I'm pursuing Masters in Biotechnology. I want to know, is there any new program starting in UTHSC, like PhD in Biomedical Sciences?
Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. That's another great program that we got accredited for, a PhD in biomedical sciences. Some of you may know we have a master's in biotechnology, and that program will feed very nicely into our PhD there at the Health Science Center. So thank you. You know what? Before I give you bad information, you may even already know when we're enrolling our first class. I want to say it's fall of next year. I'm pretty sure about that, but before I quote that, let me confirm for you, but I'm pretty sure it's fall of next year.
Okay, just I was wondering that whether you're going to start it or not.
Yes, I approve.
Okay, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
we're going to start it. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see that grow, because, you know, when you start growing those things, then you start really growing your biomedical engineering programs. And our engineering college is great. And we already offer 6 different masters in just about everything. But true biomedical is an area that we're not as strong. And so I think that in the future, we'll see a lot more of that. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Chief Justice Peters, thank you for coming and speaking to us. I work with a lot of high school students that are active in 4-H and agriculture and programs like that I don't know a lot about, but I know that's big in this region. Are there any plans for UT Tyler to offer those programs so we can get those students? Because a lot of them end up going to SFA, which is very close to us and in our region, and offers those programs, and we don't. So I'm just wondering, like, it'd be a really cool plan for the future to look into starting to get more of those students that are in this region and want those programs.
I want to be very clear with you. I'm a patriot, okay? But my father worked for Texas A&M, and I grew up in Overton. He worked in plant pathology and is a total plant diseases guy. So I hear you, and I know how important that is. Just being honest, A&M and SFA do kind of corner their market on heavy agricultural research. But there's other areas in general agriculture and horticulture and other things that I think our students would be interested in, that maybe we could consider partnerships and how that would look if we work together. So I think it's a great idea. And like I said, I'm open to things that make sense. I'm also open, though, to sometimes saying, you know what, I want to make sure our students get in the very best program they can get into. And if we don't offer it here, I want to make sure that people that have opportunity get in the right spot. So I'm very interested in thinking about that and what makes sense. You know, what I've noticed is that our university is doing a lot of really cool things. And just to that end, like our College of Engineering is working on sensors related to rural things. So they're working on sensors. I just sat through a program that was fantastic. For all I know, you guys are involved in it, but looking at how do you take compost and sugarcane and put it in asphalt in rural roads to make them last 30% longer. How relevant is that to us? But that's such interesting work, right? That translates very clearly into kind of what matters to people. So I'm excited about those types of projects and others, and how we could work together. You know, SFA is now part of the UT system. So how could we work together to have some joint programs that make sense? We're going to be stronger on the medical side than they are by just default. We have access to health systems, right? But there's lots of things that we could do to help their students too.
Secretary Adams, I want to be respectful of your time, but I also want to ask a different aspect of student life here. What are some initiatives you have moving forward to increase student engagement here on this campus and really make an impact for the students on this campus?
You know, and I'm not so far along to tell you that I have these elaborate plans since I know it, I feel like I should be able to articulate probably a better response. But since I started in June, what I've been trying to do is really listen and understand this campus and walk the campus and be present on the campus and hear you and attend events, which I've just loved. I can't tell you how much I've loved it. I love it. I love this campus. And so I think the more that I understand what you want and what's impactful for students, I think then we could take that into action. And what does that mean? My job is to find the money to get it done, friends. That's what I do. I wake up every day asking people, the state, the federal government, our friends, our donors, our families to believe in the mission and the vision of UT Tyler, which is students and their success. And so I think the more we can articulate that grand vision together, I think we have a lot of community and we have a lot of support from UT system right now. And I think you guys will tell us what you want. And that's what I'm really interested in hearing over the next year, but hopefully years, as many of you I hope will participate for a long time. I want to hear from you and we want to show some forward movement.
Treasurer Mercado, I actually have two questions. First question is regarding the two houses at the front of the entrance of what I think it's the west entrance, if I'm not mistaken. Originally, they were built for the education department to show how houses with different colored roofs can be used for energy efficiency. But in recent years, they haven't really been used for any type of research at all. In fact, the research that was collected has been taken off of our website. So my question is, what are we planning to do with those houses since we're not really using them anymore, as well as the greenhouse that was just recently built over the summer?
I can probably provide a better answer to that once we take a look at this master plan that's in the works right now and probably formally discuss that together. So the short answer is I don't know. The long answer is I have to have an answer by February. And I think getting your, again, I want to have your input and show you pictures and hear what people think. These campus plans, every university has to do a large campus plan where you say, in the next few years, I'm going to do this. In 5 years, I'm going to do this. In 10 years, I'm going to do this. In 20 years, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach with this plan. And I'm going to go all in and say, in the next X number of years, we will accomplish these 5 things, 6 things. In the next 3 years, we want to accomplish these. And the rest, I'm going to put more of a question mark because we don't know how we need to grow in a decade. We may need to buy more property. We definitely want a road, a crossing, and a better light and a better system, and maybe even a sky bridge across university and even a Loman. We're talking about those things because that's going to be really necessary. I see it in my head that as our campus grows across the street will be more like what traditional college campuses have, which is more activities and other independent shops and other stuff. And so we've got to have the accessibility to do that. I didn't exactly answer your question, but I think in the campus master plan, we'll point out these areas and we'll have question marks. Student housing is another question that I get a lot. Where are we going to build student housing? We were going to build more student housing across the street from Old Omen by Liberty Landing. We put a halt on that, a pause on that, because we've got to ask ourselves, and I seek your opinion. He knows I've got to go and I'll talk to you guys all night. I'll take your whole meeting. But should dorms be scattered around campus that would allow us to build more dining halls instead of congregating all of our housing in one location and having to cross a street? So it's on hold until we do this campus plan and we get more input. We're kind of toying with some ideas that we'll show you pictures of wouldn't it be really cool to have some dorms that face the lake or face the ballpark? What that might look like and what would students think about that. Too early to show you anything, but we'll be asking this group for your input. Oh, sure. No, happy to.
Senator Lopez, and I was wondering, as the student body continues to grow, are there any future plans on expanding the counseling department?
Expanding the counseling department, yes. Yes, we will have to. Yes, and providing that resource is really important. Yeah, thank you. It's a good question. Yes.
Senator Okafor, this is a bit of a fun question. My question is, what was your biggest challenge and your greatest joy assuming the presidential role?
Oh, thank you. What was my biggest challenge and my best joy? It was a bit of a challenge thinking about not practicing medicine anymore for me. I dreamed about being a doctor for many, many years. And when that became a reality, I felt like I was the luckiest person in the world and felt like I was exactly where I needed to be. And let it be a lesson to all of us. Your life is going to change so much. You're going to have new opportunities that you never even thought were remotely possible. You have to have the courage to say yes. That was a challenge, though, to get over not seeing patients. The biggest joy has been this campus. I wake up every day. I'm excited to be here. I listen to the things you say. I can't fix it all, but I'm excited to try. I think about what we could offer that's unique and different that was never offered when I was trying to decide, make some major life decisions over 30 years ago. And I think we can change a lot of that. And I'm excited to work on it. One more? One more. Just one more. We took a picture on her first day together. It's actually on my desk.
Senator Young, if someone who knew nothing about UT Tyler, the UT system, were to ask you what is the best part about your college, what would you tell them?
I think students in this day and age have a lot of choice about where to go to school. They have a lot of choice. And you can choose a lot of places and you can choose a lot of prestigious places. And I've been to a lot of prestigious places and they're great. But at the end of the day, I think it is great to go to a university where you have an entire team of people that are thinking about your success. And we are formulating that team. And if we don't have it, we're going to go get it. And I think I can speak for Dr. Swain. I mean, we wake up every day. Again, we're not perfect and there's lots to fix, but we are truly thinking about how to make this a good experience for you. And your success is truly ours. And so I would say there's a good value proposition when you've got a team behind you that wants you to win. It's a lot. It means a lot. Thank y'all for letting me be here. I'd come back anytime. So if I ever get the invitation, I'll be glad to
One
come
last
back.
question, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Philly. And if you do have questions that you would like to ask Dr. Philly, I do meet with her next week. So please feel free to send me your
I
questions.
just
come up
have
to
a
me.
last question. Can I ask it from online?
Sure.
I'm Senator Dusharla from UT Health Science Center. So I'm happy to see that our university is growing. And is there any possibility to arrange university bus to commute from UT main campus to UT Health Science Center? So mostly international students who are joining in UT Health Science Center, they are staying at main campus. So initially they can't commute from main campus to Health Science Center because they don't
Yeah.
have any personal vehicles. So it's a big problem for us, what we are facing every year.
Yeah. So I think you bring up a good point. We are going to have to address a universal shuttle that goes around to multiple places, and we are working on that. And to answer your specific question between Health Science Center and the academic campus, we are looking for solutions. We will make sure that people get rides when they need one. And the cost efficiency of having a shuttle and keeping someone on guard for that, when we looked at it, didn't match the resources. So we were looking at Uber vouchers and other solutions to make sure that people can get back and forth between the campuses. If you're having a problem with that, please reach out to my office. I'm going to put you in touch with the right people so that we can make sure that people have a way to get back and forth.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Dr. Philly. Okay, once again, if you do have any more questions, please come to me after the meeting, email me, send me a message on GroupMe, whatever you'd like to do. we do have a meeting, so I will come back and report all of the things you want to know. Okay, moving on. We have the Associate Provost for Undergraduate and Online Education, Dr. Colleen Swain.
Hey, it is so good to be with y'all. That's actually not my title, but that's okay. So I'm the Associate Provost for Academic Success and Dean of Undergraduate Studies. I used to have that title, but now we have Dr. Kumar, who is the Associate Provost for Online Education and Continuing Education. So we have so many awesome undergraduate students. Now, if you're a graduate student on here, we love graduate students. I was a graduate student for many degrees. But as Dean of Undergraduate Students, that's where I kind of hang out for the most part. And I love getting to talk with you, and I go and get a lot of cookies at Subway. I should not have cookies at Subway, but that's where I just go and stand and talk with y'all many times. And so I try to do that. But we have almost 8,000 undergraduate students. That is a lot. But what is very exciting when we think about who was here last fall and who is here this fall, you want to graduate about a quarter of your students every year. Mathematically, that makes sense. That means that we're graduating. Now, UT Tyler students, for the most part, do not take 15 credits per term. Matter of fact, the last couple of years, we've just started doing the 12 credits per term. And that's been great, and there's nothing wrong with that. That means, and we know that, our students work a lot. And we know that. But you know what? We also are just thrilled that from last fall to this fall, we had 21% of our undergraduate students graduate last year. That's great. That means we're inching up to that quarter that we want to see. Because we love having you here. But, your parents may be thinking it's be nice for you to move on too, and to get that degree. But we are very excited about that. We're very excited about the fall. Lots going on in the undergraduate world. We're starting to see different courses come through. We're seeing many artificial intelligence courses coming through in different areas. And so, because that's important, and it is hitting every aspect of our lives. And we also want to make sure when you leave UT Tyler that you can be a proficient practitioner of AI who understands the ethical, the societal, and the disciplinary impacts of your use of AI. And so those are some things that we are working on, and you're going to be seeing. We're working on lots of different policies to make things friendlier for students, more student-friendly policies as much as we can. We are moving, I think it's actually live now. I'll say that and then I'll be wrong because they'll go, oh no, we found one more glitch and we're fixing it. But like your change of major form, that you can do completely now online through my UT Tyler instead of, I know you love having the form and then running to have this person sign it and that person sign it and this person sign it. So we're really working to make a lot of things easier. Sometimes things happen that we all don't have input in. We were asked last spring, there's some things going on. SI has always been distributed. It's always been organized centrally, and it is still organized centrally. But SI has always been distributed. Tutoring has been up on the 4th floor of the library. Many of you do not know that because you haven't, well, many of you don't know because you've only been here since you've been here, but that was not where tutoring always was. It has been moved around quite a bit. Matter of fact, my team was talking about this is the longest we've ever been anywhere. And it's just, sometimes they come and say, hey, box up your office real quick. You're moving to, and we do that. As our students continue to use Upswing, which is our online tutoring, we have also been purchasing, I'm doing bake sales all the time. Not really, I don't bake well. So, but we're constantly purchasing more hours because our students want the Upswing hours, and that's convenient for them. And we want that. We do not want to have our tutors, our SI leaders up at 3 a.m, although they might want to be, who knows, but, and so we have moved tutoring as close to classrooms as we can. Now, student orgs, student orgs, y'all can't make your Astra arrangements until a certain point. What is that, Josh? 10 days after census, or?
The registration process opens to allow in the reserve space. But for the first 2 weeks of the semester, after 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Ensure that the client courses after census is at any time at that point. The patient can go in as early as.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of us, student groups get bumped and all of that. This fall, tutoring got bumped. And sometimes I have to go to my boss, who's the provost, and I feel like going, Dad, you're not going to believe. I don't do that to the provost. I'm very respectful. Dr. Memoran, I really need for you to make sure tutoring doesn't keep getting bumped. Because I agree, it's a pain in the rear. And so I'm happy. He was like, yep, you can have these rooms and here's how it's going to work. And, so we already have our spring rooms. Now, I can't tell you which class is going to be in which. But here's another thing that happened that it didn't surprise us, but it's the same thing. It's one of those things that we may not have anticipated well enough. When Dr. Philly said that we grew our enrollment by 8%, you got to have classrooms for people. And so, we're also all being moved and where we need bigger classrooms. And so, that's all been negotiated, and, it gets heated amongst the academic departments, of that. I'd be like, if you take in brownies, people, here, have a cookie. Can I have this room? It'd work better. But so, there have been some unanticipated consequences. I had a faculty advisor for a student group say, well, I've always had my meeting in this room. I said, well, why would you do that when students have top priority in the UC? She's like, what? Students have top priority in the UC? Yes, we get booted out all the time. I mean, I had to sell my soul to get new faculty orientation in the UC because the provost again wanted tables for this one thing, and I'm like, and he's the provost, and I still didn't do very well. So there's negotiation for space, and we just always have to remember that UT Tyler is ours. It's not mine. It's not, this is where we've always been. It's not, so we do have to adapt. The good thing is our amazing tutors and our amazing SI leaders. We have gotten information. Well, we go to the syllabi for classes, and we send out notes. Now, some faculty will let us into Canvas so that we can just send an announcement that says, hey, I know the test is next week. Remember, here's when tutoring is, or here's when SI is going to be. Some faculty, do not let us in. That's a pain too. We go to faculty and say, here is where tutoring and SI for your class is going to be. Will you please put it in your syllabus? Some do, others, do not. It's a real pain. Now, if I were queen of the world, totally different. What we are also trying to do is get some software that, quite frankly, allows us to go into Canvas courses and just pull data so the faculty don't even have to worry about it. And we're not looking at, you did so-and-so. Man, we just need to know, do you need not counseling? Do you need, counseling and help on getting this assignment done, or, those kinds of things. So we're working on technology. We're working on systems to get that together. Resources. I loved what Dr. Philly said, that she's working to get the resources. That makes me happy, because honestly, some of the problems is we just don't have the resources to do everything we want. But we are working to improve. So what I can tell you is, I don't have decisions on, I don't have input in a lot of decisions that affect me and that may affect you. I advocate like heck for you. Josh has seen me thrown complete fits in meetings. I'm so thankful for Allie, or President Schwartz, sorry. Because she stops by and she'll tell me, hey, this is an issue, and I can even start working on it. And sometimes I just go to the provost and say, this is an issue. I need help. Well, I'll send an email. Okay. And then sometimes he's like, well, fix it. And I do my very best. So, there's a lot of great things. One of the things that the faculty are really working on is for faculty to be better in AI, so we can help y'all be better in AI. If we had a bachelor's degree in artificial intelligence, would people be interested in that, you think? Okay. There's been some groups talking about it, but that was on my list to ask you. And then one of the people who we were talking about AI is also in nursing. And so this is from me, the mother hen, but also from my nursing colleagues. The flu season is coming up. Get a flu shot. Okay, I'm sorry. That's just, it's in the mom handbook. You got to do things. But, we want to remind you to also take care of yourself. We are working, if you haven't registered in a SAR, or you have colleagues who have difficulty, please know that our student accessibility office is there to help. We are not at what the percentage is that research says that we should have registered in SAR. You know, there are certain things that are on a curve that you can kind of count on across, and that's one of them, and we're not there. And so if you need help, please know. And that has been moved up. The SAR office and the testing office has been moved up to the 4th floor. We know more and more students are going to be needing that constantly. And so we want to have a nice quiet place for those students to work and to receive the supports they need. But if you do have friends and colleagues, sometimes when you're going, oh, it's that old lady who's coming around who always talks to us while she's buying cookies. But it might be, you know, how it's her. But you might be able to better encourage your friends to use those resources that we have. The counseling center. Thank you for bringing that up because our mental health is so important. SAR. We have a financial wellness coach. And that is a very important thing because also when I talk to you, I hear some of the things you worry about are not necessarily even school related. It's real life related, and finance is part of that. And so please use those resources that we have available. If you don't know of a resource, you can come. My office is in Stewart Hall, 313. I always have Snickers in my office because conversations always go better with Snickers. But you can come to me, you can come to Josh, who's back there. Your friends can come to Dean Petit. So we are here to help you. And our commitment to you is true. I do a lot of battles for you that you do not know, and that's okay. And some of you do know, but there's nothing that I love better than graduation because I get to see you meet your reward. And for some of you, I clap extra hard because I know how hard you worked. And so we are here to help you. Tutoring is going to get better. We've got to get those glitches out. If we can get all the faculty on board so we stop having now wah faculty who will not let us get into Canvas where it just so easily goes to your phone. So, but know that we're working on it. Other questions you might have? I'm sorry, I'm rambling on.
Treasurer Mercado, I know that last week we had a really big conversation about tutoring, and as the e-board, we've had numerous conversations about tutoring as well. And one of the biggest suggestions I think we've all kind of heard from all the talks that we've all had are wanting to have, if we do want to have tutoring in all the colleges, having a centralized place in each college, I think we all think would be the best way for.
I can tell you what the room numbers are if I can find mine. Oh, here they are. Okay. So I don't know what courses are going to be, but I have been told, and the shuffler in the registrar's office who shuffles us has been told that she is not to shuffle us. But we'll be in this building, we'll be in 103. In RBN, we'll be in 2007. RBN, 2007. In BEP, we'll be in 125. And in library, we'll be in 422. That's that computer lab. And I can even tell you when. This building, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday will be 2 to 9. Tuesday, Thursday, 3:30 to 9. RBN 2007, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 to 9. BEP 125, Monday through Friday, 5 to 9. Saturday, 12 to 4. Totally where you want to be on Saturday. Sorry, that was wrong. Study all the time. And then Library 422, the computer lab one. That's actually a really good computer lab if you haven't been in there. Monday through Friday, 3 to 9. So we will have, and so that is the one that the provost wrote his name on and said, don't move us.
And then one other question, when it comes to upswing, I know when it comes to the upper level classes for like math and science, I've heard lots from students saying that the tutors on upswing aren't always the best.
They are all doctoral students in that discipline. What I hear most is that they are hard to understand. And many times it is because of when you're calling. It's frequently what I consider really late, maybe what y'all consider really early. 1 a.m. to, in the middle of the night. And so you're kind of on the other side of the world where people might speak a different language as their first language. And so it's not that they are not good. I think it's just a language communication. But they all are doctoral students in the area. We have worked really hard. And if like you're an engineering student, I know that we do not have, Upswing does not have engineering classes. And we have looked to try to find a package that has every course we have, and we just can't find one. The other thing we have to worry about with Upswing or any other online package, it has to meet all the U.S. Americans with Disability Act's requirements. And so that's can be problematic too. And so some we have to throw out immediately because they don't meet that. But we're trying to get as many of our undergraduate programs as possible. I do know that the dean of our graduate school, Dr. Maktari, is working on trying to find a solution to help graduate students get online tutoring. Other questions? Okay, thank y'all so much. And I'm going to leave, but it's because I do have a pet. His name is Duke. So, and he was hungry. He's a baby. He's 7 months old. And he ate at 4 o'clock this morning. So he's going to be going, where is my food? So I apologize for not staying.
Thank you, Dr. Swain. Okay, moving on to officer reports. So my report for this week is pretty light. I did meet with Daniel Delott. We talked about some game day investments, things like that, things to make the student engagement side and student experience better. There's some funding going into that. So of course I was going to talk about the stairs, but Dr. Philly has already told you guys about that new remodel, which I'm very excited about. But other than that, lots of midnight breakfast stuff, lots of discussion about that. So we're really trucking along, getting all of the things finalized. So it's a really big event and we're really excited. Vice President Romero.
Okay. Senator Myers, did you want to do it? Oh, no, wait, this is. Oh, LOL. I was thinking about events. Sorry, guys. Okay. Officer report. Sorry, guys. Officer report. I sent out the form for student organizations and campus departments to sign up for midnight breakfast. I've been connecting with all of them to see all communications clear. I met with Dr. Banta, the faculty senate president, about getting volunteers for midnight breakfast and talking about some expectations and like goals that we want to meet. I spoke with a few senators and gave them a rundown about how SGA functions and referred them to our website, their governing documents, and our Patriots Engage page. Oh, I've been working on the logistics for midnight breakfast. I sent out the notes for what we discussed during events committee, and I also went to the Starbucks for the grand opening on behalf of SGA.
Thanks. Secretary Adams, I've been working a lot for the minutes and then uploading the recording. Additionally, working on social media content for Midnight Breakfast. So look forward to that in this upcoming week. Beyond that, I also got to represent SGA at the Congressional Legislative Summit on Higher Education with some Congress members, including the chair of the education committee. So that was pretty fun. Got to speak with them on all the great things we have going on, especially in regards to higher education. And yeah, they're really excited for what we have here at UT Tyler.
Treasurer Mercado, I have been pretty much playing around with the budget. That's what I'm going to call it because it's been a lot of fun. Going back and forth, looking to make sure all the invoices are being paid and received, and I'm excited about that. So yeah.
Chief of Staff Richardson, I have been out for a little bit recently. I was actually away out of state for a little while, so a little bit busy there, but I have been still reviewing the Constitution, getting ready for Rules Committee, and that's about it. So.
Thank you. Now moving on to committee reports, events.
Okay, now I'll go over to Senator Meyer.
Okay, Senator Myers. So just a few updates about Midnight Breakfast. We ordered 750 t-shirts and we got 1,700 stuffed critters. We met with Jamie Dowdy in Sodexo Thursday at 11:30 and solidified the menu. So for finalized, it'll have turkey, sausage, regular bacon, blue and orange whipped cream, syrup, strawberry, and chocolate. In the food lines, we can't have any glitter, no fragile things that can be broken, no tinsel, and nothing that can fly in the air that can get like in the food. Going to meet with Dr. Banta, which is the faculty senate president, and Stephen Myers. Meeting with both to get with like volunteers for the food lines. Some of the logistics that we got worked out. We asked about the tables in the one stop for student organizations and tabling. We decided to do spooky cookies, so we'll have icing and decorations for those. In the PZ, we'll do stuff a critter like last year, and we're gonna add more tables and seating into the PZ. And we'll add 3 more trash cans. In the ballroom, we've decided the timing. We'll do t-shirt handouts for about 15 minutes if they last that long. Line dancing for 45 minutes and karaoke for 45 minutes. On the second floor, the lounge, one stop maybe, there'll be tabling on the lounge near the bookstore, the side of Einstein Bros. So like on that left side. Student organization check-in, and that will be next to the bell tower before the entrance to Stewart Hall. And then some of the assignments for volunteers that we need. Helpers at the Met, ballroom, check-ins, and we'll have student and student orgs, floaters, SGA table, Met dining, and the PZ for the UC staff.
Thank you. Now moving on to communications.
Okay, so communications did not meet yet. We actually have a poll going to meet later in this week just on the incident that I couldn't meet with them today at 4:30. We will be speaking on the newsletter, the finalization and voting of the newsletter, as well as some other upcoming designs for the future events we have moving forward.
Okay. Moving on to SJC.
Hi, Senator Kelly. So for SGC, we approved $250 for the Asian Student Association's Halloween costume contest on the 29th from 6 o'clock to 7:30. We also approved $248 for PTK's Transfer Week kickoff taking place on the 21st at 5 p.m. And we approved $210.77 for the Rolling Patriots Guild for their casino night taking place on the 2nd of November.
Thank you. Moving on to rules.
Chief of Staff Richardson again. Rules did not meet last week. We were still moving around the date, and I'm still actually trying to figure out what time I can be available since that has moved as well. But we're working on getting a good time for that. So.
Thank you. ESC.
Yes, we met on Wednesday. We just discussed Arbor Day coming up, and if anyone wants to be a tree leader, just let me know and I can forward you on to Bonnie.
Thank you. Moving on to student voice reports. First is the College of Arts and Sciences.
Senator Hebb, things are going well over at the CAS. I'm in the English department, so I'm focused there. I've had a lot with me and my classmates as well in several of my classes. There's a lot of issues with availability in language classes. So we offer a lot of in-person for Spanish, but no other in-person for the Mandarin or French. So it kind of leaves it to be a little bit difficult when it comes to the intensive classes where people need the 2 semesters. So there's a lot going on there where we're trying to figure out how we can do maybe set up study groups or stuff to figure out how to get around learning a language online. So that's kind of been a big thing that I've been hearing lots about over at CAS recently, but otherwise, yeah, classes are going good. I wasn't here after to discuss it or anything, but I got to attend the English banquet and that went very well. It was a nice chance to get to meet all of the professors and everything. So yeah, that's all.
Okay. Moving on to College of Education Psychology.
Senator Andrews. So we haven't set up a meeting. Well, we have set up a meeting. We haven't met with our dean yet, but it's set up for the month of November. So far, what I've heard from students and the psych department is that they see the tutoring options on Patriots Engage, but there aren't really any for psych. And then one other concern is that they have their classes, but they're completely spread around campus. Like some classes are in SCOB, some classes are in the actual BEP building, and then some classes are in the nursing building.
Moving on to the College of Engineering.
Senator Bevel, I just recently met with the
Yes.
Okay. Recently met with the associate dean and we talked over the Ratliff Relay happening this Saturday. It's going to be from 9 to 3. You know, as many of y'all as can come should, and if you can get more people going, that would be amazing. Then at our Houston location, it will be next Saturday for the Ratliff Relay. All the classes are going well. We are, working hard for the Ratliff Relay coming up. We too, in our higher level engineering classes, we do not have tutoring. So that's one thing that we need to work out and, discuss more about going forward. But that is all.
Thank you. Does anyone have anything to add for old business?
Senator Villalobos here. I do have a small update about the gate situation at Liberty. I spoke to Joe about the gate situation, on the left side, or our left side, as you can say. He is fully on board with that. He agrees with
where we're coming from, many of the students coming from. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Seeing none, I'm gonna move into new business. Is anyone here that was not here last week for senator swear-ins? Okay. I entertain a motion to open senator swear-ins. Please stand up and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I insert name. Do solemnly swear that I shall faithfully represent the interest of the student body of the University of Texas at Tyler. I shall dutifully uphold and preserve and bylaws of the Student Government Association while ardently executing the office of insert position. Okay, thank you. Congratulations. Okay, I entertain a motion to close Senate swear-ins. Okay. I entertain a motion to open a discussion about senator projects. Okay, so basically just what I wanted to kind of go over was what senator projects are, kind of what you can do with the funds that you are allocated. We would love for you to use them. So senator projects is basically ideas that you have that could make our campus better in some way. So for example, if everybody has seen the disc golf course, they have, concrete slabs that you throw off of. That was a senator project in the past. It could be things like a new bench, just simple things that could make our university a little bit more beautiful, enhance the campus a little bit. But I'll let Eliza speak to the budget.
So for this year, and this is for the year, center projects have allocated $2,000 for the year. That means 1,000 in the fall and 1,000 in the spring. If we don't use our fall budget, that goes straight to the spring. For satellite campuses, their projects and events were combined during our last budget discussion, and they have 1,500.
Thank you. We would love to see you guys use this money this year. A lot of times it kind of just doesn't go to anything, and we would really love to see something that makes our campus more beautiful and see that money used wisely. So does anyone have any questions about senator projects in general, about the budget, anything like that? Yes.
Senator Lopez, I apologize. This is sort of a dumb question, but if I'm understanding correctly, the senator projects are only used for like the improvement of the campus visually, or
No, I mean, you could use it for whatever you feel is necessary. You do have to present it to the Senate and we vote on it. And if we really like the idea, it could truly be anything. That's just what comes to my mind is beautification purposes.
Senator Meyer, how do we go about doing that? So like if we had an idea, who are we presenting that to?
Yeah, so email me, give me more information about it, and we can work on a time for you guys to present it to the Senate and get everybody's opinions on it. A lot of the times we'll give feedback, changes that could be made, logistics, things like that. And we'll often vote on it, whether we want to do it or not. And yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Senator Page. At the end of last year, there was a project that I hoped to start, and then classes took over, and I didn't really have time for that. It was to put a concrete pad at all the bus stops on campus and like a bench or something of the sort. If anyone would like to take that over, I still have the presentation and I have all the measurements laid out. The only thing that would really need to be done is to get a quote from a professional company to make sure it's compliant with everything. I can help out with all of that. I just do not have time to do the project myself.
Other questions?
Senator Mayans, or you can call me Senator Adam, it's better for me. How much the project like money that you are talking about, like if I want to plan an idea or project, how much I have to think about? So that's my question.
So per se, the budget, like what is your?
Yeah, the budget.
Yeah, so for on campus, it is $2,000 a year. Typically per semester, but if we feel that it's best allocated to $2,000 for the project. we'll
Okay,
use it.
great. Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Treasurer Mercado, I do have a project that I started last year thinking about, but after I became treasurer, I kind of put that in the back burner. If anyone wants it, let me know. I still got the PowerPoint, still got the notes. It was a pooper scooper project, because not all of our dorms around campus have trash bags for dogs on campus, which a lot of the students do have emotional support animals. So making sure that the waste is going in the proper location, pretty much. So yeah.
Is there any other questions? Anything else? Okay, I just wanted to have that discussion to help you understand a little bit more of what senator projects are. I know it's kind of confusing, but we'd really love to see the money used. So yeah, I entertain a motion to close senator project discussion. I entertain a motion to open a discussion about President's Council. Entertain.
Secretary Adams, yes, I had this put on new business because I made an announcement at the last meeting I attended. President's Council is something that we're actively working on right now. We're in the development team and we had our first meeting last Wednesday. So for those that don't know, this is a new student organization that we're working to have as an adjacent organization to student government. Where we see as student government is to focus on student needs across campus. President's Council will be specifically geared on the needs of student organizations. So yes, we had our e-board in attendance on this to collaborate on ways to have this organization come into fruition. And yeah, we're looking to get some more support across campus and have this continue to grow throughout the semester.
Is there any questions? Yes.
Senator Okafor, just for clarification, to join the President's Council, you have to be like the president of an organization.
Secretary Adams, no, for this, as we get that started, looking forward, it would not directly be a president, more so an appointed person from a student organization. We realize that the president's role is often the most involved of the organization, so it's more so the president and or an appointed official.
Are there any more questions? Okay, seeing none, I entertain a motion to close the President's Council discussion. Does anyone have anything else to add for new business?
I motion to open discussion about midnight breakfast.
Okay.
Awesome. So just some questions I had. Do we have a Instagram post or are we gonna post anything prior to it coming out? And if we do, can we see that? And also, do we have a layout and a list of jobs for everybody? And if we don't have like a list of like assigned jobs yet, do we have a list of the needed jobs so we could go ahead and get that laid out tonight?
So for your first question, we do have midnight breakfast post ideas. I don't know if you've seen what's on the TVs around campus about midnight breakfast, but that's kind of what the Instagram post is going to be. We do have an idea. We are still getting volunteers from staff. So we do have a general idea, but we're trying to get that to you as fast as possible. Hopefully by, tomorrow or Thursday will probably be when we can get it to you. I apologize for the delay. Any other questions? No? Okay. I entertain a motion to close the midnight breakfast discussion. Does anyone have anything else to add for new business?
I entertain a motion to open discussion on organization orientation and registering as a new student organization. Okay. So I just want to bring up what was brought in for our open forum. I thought that was an interesting testimony from students, and I want to speak on that further. I feel as a governing body, we should allow and advocate for student organizations despite any affiliation, just so they have the ability to coalesce. The issues of seeking an advisor should not be an impediment to becoming a student organization. If they have met all the other requirements, I think we need to ourselves also think of future ways to mitigate issues like this.
Comments, questions?
Senator Young, I agree with this because I am still trying to get my organization approved. It's taken about 2 weeks. I've done about a month and a half of work and still no response on that. So I don't know if it's a user error or something on my end, or they just haven't approved it yet because I believe I have everything done. So I think there definitely needs to be steps laid out or something there that could help students more easily with their organizations.
Thank you.
Senator Page, I had a question for y'all because you'll have tried to start an organization before. Is there any centralized way to contact staff that would be that are more willing to be advisors versus kind of going for everything and hitting the nose?
Okay, Senator Lubala here. This is not related to this discussion. I hope that's all right. But me and Senator,
It is not, no. We will keep the questions pertaining to this discussion for now.
okay, then I will pass the mic.
Senator Hebb, I was thinking, because I was kind of thinking of this too when they were giving their presentation and how it's hard to like kind of pinpoint and find particular professors or faculty in general. Because I mean, a lot of times maybe there's somebody out there that is interested in working for a committee like that they don't know or they don't know who to reach out to. And so I was thinking maybe it would be something to look into to have some sort of forum where people could go put their organization so that the faculty could go and look and like subscribe I can't think of the right word, but like pick up those organizations.
Absolutely. I'll pass that on.
Thank you.
Other questions?
An idea I've had is also if there's a lack of interest from advisors, also Secretary Adams, for those that don't know. I feel like that should, I know I missed that. I feel like that should then fall on student engagement, that office to be able to find those resources for those students, because I don't think it's acceptable to have that be the missing piece for students to come together, organize, and have fellowship with one another.
Okay.
Treasurer Mercado, I know that when we talked about this as an e-board, when it was brought to our attention, one of my suggestions that kind of goes side by side with your suggestion is to have a form for professors and faculty to be able to fill out if they're open and willing to be an advisor as well, into what type of organizations that they would be willing and open to advising for. Because we do have to keep in mind that, yes, we want as many student organizations on campus as well, but faculty and staff do this out of the kindness of their heart and it's out of their free time at home.
Anybody else? Okay, I entertain a motion to close the discussion on student organization opportunities. Does anyone,
Can I add a point?
the discussion is now closed. I am so sorry.
Okay.
Does anyone have anything else to add for new business?
Senator Lubale, I apologize earlier, guys. I'm new to this. I motion to open a discussion about RHA. Okay. For those that don't know, me and Senator Orjaka are part of RHA, which stands for Residents Housing Association. It's an organization that started this academic year, and we have an event that's coming up on October 25th, and we are offering service hours. I know a lot of people need service hours for if you're in Greek life or whatever other organization you're a part of, or if you simply just want service hours. We are offering service hours. I think we're offering 3 to 4 service hours, but for more information about that, if you're interested, we have our meeting tomorrow in COB 103 at 5:30. So if you're interested, please come to the meeting. And then our Instagram is, I think, UT_Tyler_RHA. So if you're interested, please come to the meeting or DM us.
We have a question.
Senator Okafor, what is the event exactly?
We are going to have a like pool party type of event. We're gonna have it at the Liberty Landing clubhouse, like the pool and the volleyball area. If you know Liberty Landing, you know the volleyball area that's right outside the pool. And it's supposed to be scheduled from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. is the time that we're thinking of having it.
Senator Okafor, okay. Did the event get approved for that time? Because I know the clubhouse closes at 7 p.m. Okay.
Couple questions. For those that don't know what RHA is, can you explain?
I just need to stop sitting down.
I should have elaborated more. I'm sorry, guys. RHA, like I said, it stands for Residents Housing Association. It's actually it stemmed from Dr. Joe Berthium, the executive director over housing. At the previous university that he worked at, there was an RHA organization that was started there, and it's basically a organization for student voices to be heard for students that live on campus, in campus housing. Any concerns that you see, like if there's potholes in your parking lot of the facility that you live at, or if you want longer hours for the clubhouse to be open or for the pool to be open, or any concerns that you overall have for residence life at any of the facilities, you are able to express your concerns during our meetings. And we kind of relay them back to Dr. Joe. So we're kind of like the mouthpiece for students, like advocating for students, any issues that they might have.
Senator Orajaka, I wanted to add a few more backstory to what Senator Lubale said about our RHA. I'm the secretary. And basically like what she said is right, and some improvements we've done. Well, some improvements we have done. If you guys know about the Victory Village building for the trees that block that place, we had residents come to the meetings and complain about that. And we actually told Dr. Joe and actually had lawyers come assess the safety risk, and the trees are going to be cut down. Another improvement we've worked on is the Victory Village clubhouse. There's going to be a refurbishing and to basically make it more appealing to students to come over there.
Another thing we had was a complaint of certain foundry staff members who were apparently rude and mean to the students, and that person has been fired. This is some of the things that come up from the RHA. So I would advise students to come for the meetings because Dr. Joe takes every complaint seriously. And another backstory for the event, yes, it is a pool rave. It is already approved. It is scheduled for 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. We're gonna have food and drinks. The service hours we're offering is a long list for different people to come, different student organizations, and they can choose from the list of what they want to partake in. There's a setting up and there's a backdrop. There are many different ways, but service hours is always good to get. Thank you.
Does anyone have anything else to add or any more questions? Yes.
Senator Lopez, and I'm sorry if this is sort of a dumb question to ask, as it kind of doesn't have to do with y'all's volunteer hours. My question more has to do as somebody who lives in an apartment next to a pool. Do you guys have any plans to ensure that noise levels don't get too loud to this? I don't know. I have never been to the Liberty Landing, so I don't know if there's any apartments or dorms next to the pool. And since you guys plan on having it to 1 a.m., where it won't affect students who might potentially have or studying in their rooms or have to sleep because they have to wake up early to work the next day.
Senator Bale here again. So the actual date of the event is on Friday. So we were thinking that Friday evening, some students either are they're like going back home or they're like not at their apartment at that time. But if there are some, we have spoken to the residence coordinator of Liberty Landing, as well as like the RAs of Liberty Landing. And if there are any students at all that are affected by how loud or we might be being, which I hope that we don't, but if any students are affected, we do plan on actually adjusting to that because we don't want to keep people up because we know people have work or they have to be up early for other reasons. So we definitely have taken that into consideration.
Senator Okafor, I realize your event is at 10 p.m. and I don't know if Liberty Landing has installed lights in their pools because it is illegal to swim in the pool at night if it doesn't have lights because it's a safety hazard.
It does have lights.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay. Seeing none, I entertain a motion to close discussion on RHA pool rave. Does anyone have anything else to add for new business?
I motion to open discussion about our speakers podium. Just generally both of them. Awesome. Okay, I know there's a lot going on, and I know we had our chance to ask our questions, but I think it's also important to have our discussion. It's sometimes a little less awkward whenever they're not directly in the room with us. I'll leave it kind of open to anybody, but two of the things I had were with the new tailgate policy, would there be the possibility that we would want to table at a tailgate, either just to be there or give out food or provide drinks or whatever? If that's anything anyone is interested in, possibly. Yeah. And then the other thing that I think we should kind of inquire more into is with the construction of the new stairs, like between the Ryder Tower and the lake, depending on how that is, like I kind of understand what she was saying. Would that impede access to the HPR BEP on that side, and would it impede access to the to Stewart Hall on that side with?
I understand your question. I can get clarification on that for you just because that is a really important location on campus. I imagine that it isn't going to impede, but I will double check and get back to you on that.
Awesome. I'll leave it open to anybody.
Anyone else? Any comments, questions?
Motion to close discussion.
Does anyone have anything else to add for new business? Seeing none, I entertain a motion to close new business. Advisor comments, Josh?
Thank you. Hopefully it reaches. Yes. All right. So it's and finding advisors has always been. Uh, we have the Department of Student Development has if you want to be an advisor, all you have to do is email, get connected, call me, email as easy as possible. And when we help promote that, is I go usually once a year, to staff senate, faculty senate, it's an easy dollar now, every time we open up registration process. We have also presented to new faculty orientation. We have not presented to new staff orientation, but that is something that we can potentially look at because it's not just faculty. We have a lot, almost half of the advisors are all. Sometimes they're more. It's not always just because policy. That is usually the number one factor. Buying advisors are sometimes one third. They're worried about. And so what we have done is we try to contributors have insurance that concern, we try to tackle the concern. It is then the solution there is to set the expectation. So we use student government. We did that at the beginning a few years ago. I really was not clear. The big thing, going back to our facility, she's been awesome to work with. She is focused on developing resources and personnel. And so this past July, even though she was fairly new, we got approval, got her a full-time person. Always do. So their job is to have to stay compliant. It is part of the education code, regions rules, municipality rules, you have to have no way around that. You have to stay compliant. So, but their job is to help address concern, focus on the training, focus on the student organization president and council. It will be the advisor executive. Because for me, I want that group, the student organization president council, to train but to the student president council, so that we continue to enhance that group. Everyone is with us, take this today, or to handle an election. Everyone handles an election like all. And it's something I want to make points happen today about student groups and how to do an election. So you can train for it. I want you to get back to it. I'll ultimately focus on skills for it. So I think it does take time to change the culture and grow with that buy-in. Here, now, when it comes to student recruitment, we do letters of free student policy. They're not stopping students from going out and recruiting students. And making the requirement that they can be on their side to start. So I think we have a really good free student policy. And so we're always trying to help students get groups up running. Because we do know student groups is one of the best ways more organic, fun. Sometimes all of them are better than sometimes at the university. So we're going to continue to watch and learn groups. Try to offer you that. See, Dr. Billy mentioned tailgating. That's been pretty exciting to watch that process grow. I know that was one of our last topics mentioned, getting to the questions kindergarten and do tailgating.
Alcohol piece, a little bit more.
Or are you
Because
you already university funded? So
you-
university funded, you'll have to follow the alcohol process. So, kind of,
Right.
know that, we've always been supportive of, groups.
including
Additional funding. That's far.
going to Dr. Swain. He is an all advocate. He does take y'all's feedback. I know there were some comments made after she
Share that.
and so that she is a
Always negotiating, so yes, tutoring has been adjusted. When student groups get picked, I go. So sometimes it's between me and her, who gets first dibs, groups, tutoring, academic. So her comment about the UC, that was one of the things a couple of years ago. Okay, well, academics get first right. So that's why we try to open up the registration and room reservation process much clearer. So that way, can go in for basically well advanced. If you don't allow faculty and staff to reserve that space until we in groups. With full-time personnel in place, I think we're gonna be able to open that. And so starting this coming summer, we're potentially gonna pop up August 1. Awareness, is off in people Senate. I would encourage y'all to hard if you can TC. Every area of an institution we grow. Senator project. I want to emphasize, kindergarten has not done well in the senator project. That's why it's never first started in the
the student not
officers allocated to areas that work. So, senator project.
Alice comment.
Buckets, answer the buckets, maintained by Rex Forest now, but, sorry. There's another, the water
Model station.
Houston campus, yeah, needed supplies, the fridge and microwave, roofing space. So, it should be rushed to try to make that $2,000. Senate, every project
Is the one
do not wait till April.
project. My charter.
The presentation. You'll hold your presentation, board is as well. You should focus on the conduct, do what we there one. Presentation, but if the process is not just about getting approval, it's also about implementing the project itself. So once you get approval, you are the project lead. We'll see it through, whether you are. So
It's
important. Figure out what you need. So, you feel like more money is needed, okay? Maybe that is a separate conversation. You'll ask them, hopefully, the opposite. Don't limit yourself to the yourself. See something that helps you to address. I'll stay behind. Got it. No questions.
Thank you, Advisor Neves. Moving on to announcements. If you are a graduate student and you are interested in joining a university committee, please come see me. There is a spot that they would love a graduate student on, so please come see me or text me or email me. Midnight breakfast, that is next Tuesday, so we're trying to get everything rolled out to you guys. It's a lot of planning, so bear with us. If you do not have a basic SGA shirt, please come to our office, UC 2160. We'd love to see you. We're in there quite a lot. If we're not in there, we'll probably be in there within the hour. But we would love to have you, and the shirts are super cute. So please come pick one of those up. Arbor Day, that's this next Saturday. 2 Saturdays from now, sorry. It's after midnight breakfast, so we'll plant trees, free Chick-fil-A. So, that's always super fun to have. And it's a super fun event, super quick, good service hours. So, trunk or treat. I will be contacting everyone that got back to me, and we'll get an idea with a theme going. So, looking forward to that. Global Quiz Night is Friday, October 25th. That's an honors event that they do every year. It's super fun. It's basically like a really big version of trivia with about 300 people. So it's really fun. We would love to have you. Next week, we will not have a meeting because it's midnight breakfast. So we'll send out expectations for that. We're super excited. I know everybody's getting really excited for that. So thank you guys for all your hard work. Great meeting today. Does anyone have any other announcements? Seeing none, I entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting. Thank you, guys.